national security and defense matters, including 24 years of distinguished service in the U.S. Army and 17 years in senior federal civilian leadership. He has served in command and leadership positions at every echelon in the intelligence community, from tactical units in combat to national agencies. He's recognized for advancing national security initiatives and strengthening interagency cooperation across the Department of Defense and U.S. government. Raised in North Attleboro, Massachusetts, Mr. Carroll entered government service in September of 1984, enlisting in the U.S. Army to serve in the 75th Ranger Regiment and the 82nd Airborne Division, earning the rank of sergeant. After his enlistment, he attended Northeastern University on an Army ROTC scholarship. In June of 1991, he graduated and was commissioned as an infantry officer. In 1995, he transitioned to military intelligence. Some of his key military intelligence assignments, including command of the Army's largest military intelligence company while at the National Security Agency. He was also operations officer for the 66th Military Intelligence Brigade in Darmstadt, Germany. He worked as a soldier diplomat, as assistant Army attaché at the U.S. Embassy in New Delhi, India. He served tours as the chief of the key leader engagement team at the U.S. Embassy, Baghdad, Iraq, and as Joint Special Operations Command's Interagency Liaison Officer at the U.S. Embassy, Islamabad, Pakistan. And he served multiple times as the intelligence officer for the first Special Forces Operational Detachment, Delta, at Fort Bragg, North Carolina. Mr. Carroll retired from the Army in January of 2012 as a lieutenant colonel, accepting a senior intelligence officer position at U.S. Central Command in Tampa, Florida. Mr. Carroll later joined the Directorate for Operations at the Defense Intelligence Agency. He served as a defense liaison officer at the U.S. Embassy in Amman, Jordan. He also served as policy strategist and later as chief of the Joint Base Boston, where he was DIA's interagency representative across 17 state regions and led its operational mill-to-mill intelligence partnership with the Canadian Defense Forces. Mr. Carroll served over 4 years in combat zones. His awards and decorations include the Legion of Merit, 3 Bronze Stars, the Air Medal, 4 Defense and Army Meritorious Service Medals, as well as 8 Joint and Army Commendation and Achievement Medals. He also earned the Army Ranger Tab, the Pathfinder Badge, the Expert Infantryman Badge, as well as Irish and U.S. Parachutist badges. He has been married for over 33 years to his wife Karen of Marshfield, Massachusetts. They have 3 adult daughters, and they're happy to report that they will soon become grandchildren, or grandparents, this February. Please welcome Colonel Brian Carroll.
That really made me feel old. I guess if you've been around for a while, you kind of pick up those awards and things like that. So I really do appreciate you sharing that. But I'll tell you this, that any achievement I achieved really was a result of the people that worked for me. And I thank them today. I also want to say that I know this speech was going to be a little bit about me and what service meant to me, but I'm currently a student at the Naval War College. Lately I've been struck just by the sacrifice and devotion to duty demonstrated by Rhode Islanders. So much of my speech will focus on that. It's a tradition we should all be proud of. And looking around at this next generation, I really feel a bit more secure in our future as a nation. So thanks for all you guys do. Good morning, friends, families, honored guests, and veterans. Thank you for coming out today to express your gratitude to us, who've had the honor of wearing our nation's uniform. grateful to join you in reflecting on this year's theme, Service to the Nation. It's especially meaningful in a year of remarkable milestones when our Army, Navy, and Marine Corps each celebrated 250 years of service. Today, we honor that legacy and those who have carried it forward. We gather to remember and to renew our gratitude to those who served. Service to the nation has never been one-sided. It is a partnership between those who wear the uniform and the citizens whose freedoms we protect. That partnership rests on a shared promise that duty fulfilled abroad will be met with dignity, opportunity, and remembrance at home. Today, we remember. Reflecting on that bond between service member and citizen and the importance of both to our nation, Abraham Lincoln wrote, "Honor to the soldier and sailor everywhere who bravely bears their country's cause. Honor also to the citizen who cares for his brother in the field and serves as they best can the same cause." Here in Barrington, that partnership runs deep. From the Civil War through World War II, Barrington sent, on average, 10% of its citizens to fight our nation's wars. Uniformed service to the nation is an integral part of this town's character, and so is caring for and honoring those veterans who return. Your presence here today is emblematic of that covenant. Generations of its residents, farmers, teachers, tradesmen, and even the guy beeping the horn over there, have answered our nation's call. Ordinary Rhode Islanders who became extraordinary through their service. That spirit first shone when our fledgling nation needed Rhode Islanders to survive. In 1775, the 1st Rhode Island Regiment formed and were among the first to fight the British in Boston. In 1778, as the colony struggled for independence, Rhode Island authorized the enlistment of both free and enslaved black men, promising freedom to those who fought. They served alongside indigenous warriors from the Narragansett, Wampanoag, and other tribal nations. Later, white recruits joined that unit. The 1st Rhode Island Regiment became America's first integrated military unit, proving that courage and citizenship are not limited by color or circumstance. That August, at the Battle of Rhode Island, the unit held firm against repeated British assaults. The regiment did their duty. They fought valiantly throughout the war, including at Yorktown, helping secure American independence. They proved directly that valor knows no color and that freedom, if it is to mean anything, must belong to all who fight for it. When we speak of service to the nation, regiment members defined it: to place the common good above one's own comfort, and to help a nation live up to its highest ideals, even before that nation fully recognized them. They proved that service can transform both an individual and a nation. Their courage won independence and pushed America closer to its own promise of liberty, equality, self-governance, and the rule of law, forcing the country to confront and eventually embrace who truly counts as we, the people. They fought for freedom, some for personal liberty, but all for collective independence from tyranny. That brings us to consider why, today, with all the liberties and comforts we enjoy, our nation's sons and daughters continue to raise their hands and volunteer to defend those ideals codified in the Constitution. The English writer G.K. Chesterton said, "The true soldier fights not because he hates what is in front of him, but because he loves what is behind him." Irrespective of time, it is, and it always has been, the love of family and nation that drives someone to serve. Veterans serve for their families and communities, and they could not do it without your support. I would slightly amend Chesterton's axiom to include, soldiers also fight out of the devotion they have for their brothers and sisters in arms who serve alongside them. The veterans among us know this well. Those who have taken the oath to defend our nation do so with the conviction that defending the ideals of our benevolent yet imperfect, ever-evolving nation for the protection of our loved ones' way of life is worth one's last breath. In combat, we veterans were assured that the person to our left and right, regardless of sex, race, or creed, felt the same. If Roger Williams, Rhode Island's founder, joined us today, he would surely understand this, for he founded the state on the principles of tolerance, integrity, and civic responsibility, values that mirror the best traditions of our military and our nation. He might remind us that service, whether in battle or daily life, is the highest expression of gratitude for liberty. The oath taken by service members is to the Constitution, not to a person or to a party, but to an idea that liberty and equality are worth protecting. Each generation must decide whether those words remain abstract or lived. The Rhode Island Regiment made that choice with their lives. We are called to make it with ours. As I close, I will ask you to consider three things. First, teach our children that freedom is not a gift, but a responsibility. Tell them about the sacrifices made on Aquidneck Island and how individual service can change the course of a nation. Inspire them to be responsible citizens. Second, trust between the military and civilian communities must continue to be strengthened. The military serves best when guided by clear purpose, held to the highest standards, and supported by an informed, caring public. Our Vietnam veterans did not always experience that mutual trust and shared purpose. Let us pledge to never repeat that mistake and to always welcome our veterans with gratitude. As General Douglas MacArthur said, the soldier, above all others, prays for peace, for it is the soldier who must suffer and bear the deepest wounds and scars of war. Let this community be one where asking for help is a sign of courage, not weakness. Finally, live with purpose. Remember, service is not limited to the military. In closing, to all veterans present today, you have carried the nation's hopes on your shoulders. You have demonstrated that the measure of citizenship is not comfort, but commitment. Your service has brought America closer to its ideals, more inclusive, more just, more aware of the debt we owe to those who defend us. For that, we say thank you, as a promise to remember, to care, and to build the kind of nation worthy of your sacrifice, devoted to community and always in service to something larger than ourselves. May Barrington remain a place where gratitude becomes action, memory becomes duty, and service to the nation and to one another remains our proudest tradition. Thank you, and may God bless our veterans, this community, and the United States of America.
Thank you, Brian. Now I'd like to call to the stage